Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you best be believing the Causeway Kings are back here on the Abington Cam Network as well as the WMEX Sports Radio Network. Welcome, welcome to one and to all, and welcome aboard for another edition of the Causeway Kings. Your friend Ben Rabenovitz here with you, alongside number 70, Merrill Marshall, joining the fray in his Sharp, New Jersey. And number 4, Adam Clancy. What's up, boys?
It's great to be here. Love the jerseys. The jerseys are fresh. Thanks to
Verbero
and Verbero Hockey. Absolutely loving this. We all look great. And we got the Bruins on a 13-game home winning streak, which is an NHL record. We've got lots to talk about. Jack Edwards, among other things.
So many things to go over.
Maybe we also touch on David Pastrnak still not being signed to an extension.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, and but all good, really. On the ice, it's all good.
That's what it's all about. Clance, good to see you back, buddy. You've been through a heck of a lot lately,
Guys,
too.
It's been quite a month for me. Obviously, I know I mentioned last time I've had some back issues. Good news is don't need surgery.
Good.
That's a good thing, but let me tell you about this test I got to get done.
Uh-oh.
It's called an EMG test, right?
That doesn't sound fun.
Basically what they do, they stick needles from my neck down into my arm.
Yikes.
And then they take a taser. No lie, they take a taser and they tase
Each
the
one,
needles
test the nerves.
to see how long it takes for the nerves to react.
Is it a test or an interrogation?
I don't know, but I
Just tell them what they want to know, Clance, and you'll be okay.
guys, I mean, yeah, so that's what's going on in my world. But high school hockey has started.
Yes.
Yes.
Currently in
We'll see you
tryouts.
later.
We had our last tryout today. I think Braintree High JV is going to have quite a squad, not going to lie.
Oh, there it is.
Varsity's going to have quite the squad as well.
Oh, they always
A
do.
lot of returning players, a lot of firepowers. My opinion, we have the number, if not the number one goalie in public school hockey in the
there
state
you
of
go.
Massachusetts.
And folks, just in case you didn't know, Clance is on the coaching staff over at Braintree, so that's why we're talking about that here in Abington. I've got to ask you, Clance, right along the way, when are the two going to play? And at what point are you and Coach Woodford going to have the end-all, be-all of the one-on-ones?
Come on, let's be realistic here, all right? Love Brian Woodford to death. Known him since kindergarten. Can't handle my squad.
There it
Can't.
is.
You just can't.
Them fighting words.
Those are fighting words.
Braintree Varsity has a scrimmage Saturday at 4 p.m. at the Zap in Randolph against Pembroke High. And then my first GV game is Saturday, December 10th at 7:30 p.m. against Severian Brothers High School at Milton Academy.
Whoa.
Getting it started already.
Start with a firecracker, why
I'm
don't
more
you?
of like, hey, let's start the season off with like a little bit of a tune-up game.
Yeah, right?
A couple learn to skate kids, really get our confidence boosted there.
Sorry, kids, you get the Red Wings.
Exactly, perfect.
Game
But
on.
instead, we're
The 97 Red Wings.
we're going to come flying out of the gates right away against Severian Hawks, which is going to be one hell of a battle.
That's going to be fun to watch, and we're excited to look forward to that one.
Where is that game?
Milton Academy.
Oh,
Ooh,
now.
nice rink out
Yeah,
there, too.
yeah,
Real nice
absolutely.
spot.
Yeah. So it's we're in the full swing of things, and then tomorrow my 5-year-old starts his official first team practice for Braintree Learn to Play.
Hey.
Yeah. So I of course I have to coach.
You got to coach. You got to
Don't
be
have a
there.
choice.
I don't, because my kid will not step foot on the ice unless I'm there.
That's a good start.
That's good.
So,
Let's get
but,
that going
that's a
first.
good-
Lot
a
going
problem
on
to
in the
have.
Clancy household lately, but all is good. Lot to talk about with the Bees. Jack Edwards, you're dope.
Yeah. So let's start right in with that. First of all, needless to say, folks, if you missed it live, Jack Edwards made some pretty direct comments, if I do say so myself. I mean, he came right out and said, on training day, Pat Maroon showed up at, 238?
6'4", 238 pounds,
And
he
a
said.
few pizzas later, he imagined. Now, Brick was obviously just trying to get through the situation, I think, here.
as
But
always.
for the most part, yikes a Rooney, man. That is a bad hit. What are you doing? Normally, whatever Jack says, I'll just brush it to the side because I love the craziness. It's whatever it is, what it is. But there's a line in professional sports, and unfortunately for him, I think he not only stepped over, but he
Stepped in it.
What's that game the kids play in the schoolyard? They jump through the blocks.
Hopscotch?
That's exactly what he did. He
hopscotch, yeah.
hopscotched right over the line on that one.
bad hit.
And especially with all the scrutiny that the Bruins are under with this Mitchell Miller situation
Right,
and all
last
that.
thing they needed.
Then he comes out and does that.
Ugh.
Hey, but hats off to Pat Maroon with his response.
Right, $50,000
And that number's only going to go up.
100%, yeah.
In the name of mental health and all that stuff.
Body
that he's doing.
shaming, like-
Unbelievable effort here by Pat
No offense,
Maroon.
Jack. I don't see you winning any modeling contests.
The point is taken, though, very cleanly. I mean, there are plenty of things and aspects of his game, Pat Maroon's game, and plenty to pick on professionally. That was probably one of 3 things on a list of things you probably just shouldn't have touched. And Jack just went full notebook on it.
Pat Maroon can do what he wants. He can eat what he wants. Look how he
three-time
wants.
Stanley
He's got
Cup champion.
3-time Stanley Cups. Like, who cares?
I don't care what that guy does.
He's making millions of dollars in the NHL. Jack, you're not. Like, grow up, dude.
Yeah, it's just not the kind of thing in 2022 to take like that. It's just not the kind of thing I would think.
Jack stepped over the line. He just talked about it for too long. I mean, you look at it, and it's
Right.
like, all right, you make an off comment about a player here and there, but he went on and on and on to the point where I think Maroon actually had left the ice. His shift was over.
And he was
The
still
game was
talking
over,
about
and he
it.
was still going.
He's still
Yeah.
talking about it. So, I mean, he shouldn't have said what he said. That being said, I mean, the greater thing is we all can see Jack has lost his fastball. He's lost his slider, and he's lost his changeup. He's definitely, lost a step as far as play-by-play, and I think they should be looking for a new guy. I mean, and this has nothing to do with the Pat Maroon thing. This is just listen to the guy do a broadcast. And
It's
you're
been
just
brought
like, I don't want to speculate. He's been a broadcaster for a long time. going back to
2005 is when he
way
picked
back.
it up with the Bees.
I mean, he's been in local Boston sports since probably, the 1980s. I remember him covering even Celtics games as like a sideline reporter. But, I mean, it's just, everybody has a shelf life, and I think it's coming to an end for him. And, it's unfortunate, but good for Pat Maroon. I tell you one thing.
What a response.
Absolutely great response.
That's a professional right there.
And, it's one thing, too. Pat Maroon talked about his career when he was on Spit and Chicklets about how, he had the weight issue. He had some problems when he was on the Philadelphia Phantoms. He was originally a Flyers draft pick. And, he his nickname's Fat Pat. He joked about his weight. It's just that, Jack went on and on and on and on about it, and it was to the point where it was like, all right, it's 35 seconds, and you guys are talking about it.
Right.
Like,
Could have gone with the pizza joke and left it at that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
nobody would have had a problem with that at all.
No, and it's
you
not-
know?
I mean,
Honestly.
in the society we live in now, in my opinion, he never should have made any type of comment like that.
Oh, no, absolutely. That is the base here.
I bet you, there's some little kids and fans out there that look up to Jack as, who love that type of stuff, and they're like, oh, we can say stuff like that about people?
Yeah, no, can't have that kind of
floodgate.
floodgate.
Wrong, and he should be disciplined some way. I don't know,
one
can
thing-
you suspend a color comedy guy?
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I don't know if he would realize he was suspended. But, like...
Love you, buddy.
It's one thing to say a joke, but it was like a monologue after a while. It was like, all right, Jack.
Well.
All right, we get it.
We sure got it now. No doubt about that. Well, we are having fun. Again, thank you for watching the Causeway Kings here on the Abington Cam Network and the WMEX Sports Podcast Network. We're always having fun here, and you can find us online pretty much anywhere, especially on the Abington Cam YouTube channel, as well as checking us out on WMEXBoston.com. Boys, the Boston Bruins are off to the hottest start in NHL history, as well as so many other things. They collected a couple of records. Bergey's at his 1,000th. So much has gone on since last we've met here, and I just don't even know what to complain about. I mean, the only thing we
there's
haven't
nothing-
had yet is a Bruins-Canadiens game yet.
Well,
And that's not even supposed to be a big game this
the
year.
only complaint I have is, why is David Pastrnak not signed yet?
Answers, and they need to be needed because they're wanted right
I
now.
mean, obviously it's a more of a strategic planning type thing right now. They got to figure out the salary cap. They put Strawman on waivers, which is going to free up $1 million from the cap space.
I do believe he did clear too.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're 20 plus games into the season, he's
over a
not
quarter.
signed. We're not really hearing much conversation from his party or the Bruins. I'm starting to get a little concerned.
I agree. Now that we're getting close to the Winter Classic, I feel like that's sort of like the line of demarcation where if you're going to announce a signing, that would kind of be like a momentous occasion to do so. But again, I hate to bring it up and bring it back to the Mitchell Miller situation. However, with a front office that would make an egregious, idiotic decision like that, do you trust them now? I mean, I know they made some good moves with the Hampus Lindholm trade, but do you trust them to, make this right decision? I mean, I think you just got to pay him, because the way I look at it is, number one, the other thing is, first of all, you're not going to have, nobody has a David Pastrnak to replace in the system.
Right.
So I know people rag on, and I have ragged on, their drafting, but
You have?
I know,
This guy?
shocking.
Never.
Listen to Spotify, you can hear all about my ranting. But
It's true, you can.
but nobody has a David Pastrnak waiting in the AHL, and that's the greater thing about why he needs to be signed. The greater issue is there's only so many people, a handful of people on planet Earth that can score the puck the way he can at the highest level. And you have to, if he has to be the highest paid player in the NHL, so be it. He has to be signed. There is absolutely, especially with the uncertainty of Bergeron and Krejci and Marchand getting up there in age, they need this guy more than ever going forward.
The
for
future of
the
your franchise.
Absolutely. You got to get him signed, whether it's $12 million a year, $13 million a year, whatever it is. If it's Connor McDavid money, they got to give it to him because he's in his prime. He's got another at least probably 8 to 9 years of high level hockey, and those
No
kind
doubt.
of players who could snipe and shoot the puck like him age really well. I mean, he's in like the Alex Ovechkin sort of category. Maybe not quite as a top end scorer as him, but I mean, he's right in there.
But he hasn't been in the league as long as Ovechkin either.
No,
Right.
I'm
But even
saying
Ovi had to start
long-term-
somewhere.
Yeah.
Long term, when you look at like his career arc, I could see his skill set, obviously not as big, but his ability to shoot the puck, score, distribute the puck. Just again, where are you going to find that?
It's
And
not
you
just
could-
laying around anywhere, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely not. So please, Don Sweeney, wherever foxhole you're hiding out, waiting for the Mitchell Miller stuff to blow over.
That's not gonna blow over for years.
Sign David Pastrnak, please.
You heard the man, folks. Save our boy. Sign Pasta right away.
I mean, obviously, we all know he deserves north of $10 million a year.
Easy.
Easily.
Do you think he is more of like a Crosby type situation where he takes that hometown discount to win? Because Crosby did. I mean, let's be real. Crosby should be making $13, $14, $15 million a year.
Totally.
The guy's unbelievable. He's the face of the Pittsburgh Penguins. He has been since they drafted him. If
Consummate
not, he's
professional.
top 3 best player in the league in history. He took a massive discount to stay to bring guys in so they can win.
And speaking of Pittsburgh, we do have to bring it up, obviously, the situation with Chris Letang having a second stroke and now out indefinitely, obviously, and his entire career, life very much so, in question right now. And we just want to put out our thoughts and prayers here from the Causeway Kings to Chris and his family. That's above and beyond hockey at that point. That's just, we hope all the best for him, no doubt about it.
Yep.
But thank you for bringing I just wanted to make sure we brought that up.
No,
Talking about
absolutely.
Pittsburgh. Lots of other stuff going on right now, and especially with this team. I mean, like you were just talking about with Pastrnak, where do you go from here? At the trade deadline coming up in March, and that's coming up quick and already, I feel like, at least.
If I was Pastor,
What
I'd
do
be
you do?
like, listen, if I don't have an offer by January 1 of 2023, I'm not going to entertain any offers anymore. I'm going to hit free agency when the season ends.
That's terrifying.
The concern for me is that, we saw what happened with the Johnny Gaudreau situation. These things, I thought personally Johnny Gaudreau was going to stay with the Flames. I think everybody did who is a hockey fan, and it just kind of drifted, and it got away from them. And I think the other thing that's kind of unique is that we already got, Don Sweeney, has he done any media availability since the whole
Nope.
Mitchell
I don't
Miller
know.
thing
Ken
went
Dillon
down?
was the only one that I think had been, and that was a press conference after the whole situation.
So, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with that. We want to know about the Pastrnak situation, but maybe Don Sweeney they're not allowing him to speak because, again, we're merging all these situations on, onto one, but we're talking about too the Mitchell Miller private investigating situation. Maybe that molds into the fact that Sweeney doesn't have media availability to give, or they don't want him speaking. But getting back to Pastrnak, it's like, they gotta, they have to figure this out. They just absolutely have to figure it out. And, on the ice, they're a wagon. I mean, I know we haven't talked a whole hell of a lot about it on the podcast, on this broadcast so far, but they're a wagon. And just if they can save some face and get Pasternak signed long term and go from there and just like kind of, flush out some of the off ice nonsense that actually has nothing to do with the players on the ice, and just right the ship, right the ship off the ice, because on the ice they're killing it, and they're listening to Montgomery.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you just look at it, and just how they're playing. Like Taylor Hall on the third line scoring, like they're just getting contributions from everybody.
Two at a Hall last night, matter of fact, and looked great.
He won the game for the Bruins against Tampa Bay. And I think Swayman had the game of the save against Corey Perry.
That was an
coming across,
unbelievable move.
And I think
unbelievable.
My groin is torn just watching that.
I mean,
God!
honestly, did you see the slide? I mean, that was
Yes,
like an
that's
old
what I'm saying.
school, like Nintendo NES Tetris block right across the bottom of the ice. Like, it was
so
beautiful.
it's funny. Actually, one of the kids, he's a coach at Braintree High with us. His name's Kevin Hawk, local kid from Braintree. Played at Dexter Southfield. Went on to play at UMaine. Was actually his best friends with Jeremy Swayman. And they were roommates together at Maine and everything. And he was saying that he texted him after the game about that save, and he says, "When I made that save, I knew I was in the zone."
Yeah.
Like, so you now have probably the best 1-2 combo goalies in the league right now. Now, looking ahead to the Bruins' next 4 games, you have Stanley Cup champs Colorado.
Twice.
You have Vegas.
Twice.
So those are the next 4 games. If they come out,
It's getting good.
I would
Good
say
eat.
3 out of
That is
4.
good eats.
Yeah.
That's going to set the tone for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Right.
That right there is going to make, not that they're not a cup contender, because we all feel like they are.
Oh, yeah.
and we
Which
know
is
they
crazy
are,
because
but
just a few short months ago, they were in a rebuild.
And if they come out and they beat Colorado, they beat Vegas, who is on absolute fire right now. Let's just talk about their third jersey. The
Yeah,
light-up
it's pretty
jerseys.
sick.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Glow in the dark.
Unbelievable.
Bro.
It's like the in the 80s, if you had like the racetrack that glows in
Exactly.
the dark.
Yeah, that's exactly
I
what
had
it
one.
looked like. I was trying to figure that out. Thank you.
I had one.
Yes.
But like,
It's the first in league history, by the way, to do
they
that.
come out on top in 3 out of those 4 games. I mean, hell, obviously we want to see them come out 4-0, but you never know what's going to happen. They're the team to watch out for the rest of the season, in my eyes.
No doubt.
That Vegas game is going to be fun. The undercurrents of Cassidy coming
Bruce.
back
Oh.
and coaching against
Bruce.
in the old squad, and it's amazing. Like, we all obviously underestimated, I think, and everybody did. Even the most optimistic Bruins fan, nobody predicted how this start that they were going to have. But I think we underestimated the coaching style change, the new voice, and I think something that's getting sort of underplayed. And again, it's not sexy to talk about, but they're healthy. And the greatest example of that is Nick Foligno. Like, Nick Foligno looks like Columbus Blue Jackets Nick Foligno, like 2014. Nick
Uncle
Foligno.
Nick's ready to throw down. That's right.
Yeah, well, as Billy Jaffe said, he looks like more Cousin Nick than Uncle Nick now. He looks...
I love that out of
Yeah.
Jeffy. That's great.
But, I mean, their health... And, by the way, I meant to say, great point on that great save that Swayman made, that also, mentally, he knows he's healthy.
Yep.
That leg or knee or whatever it was that he suffered that injury... I mean, you don't make that save if you're 90%
No,
even. That's
absolutely not.
That's 110 right there.
instinctual, just reactionary, unbelievable save, and he's definitely in the zone.
Yeah.
So,
What a zone to be in, boys. I tell you. That's something else. And
I'm excited for the next 4 games, to be honest with you.
it's going to be one of the best parts of the season, and
So they got Colorado Saturday at home.
that's gonna be rocking.
I got quite the Saturday night plan, guys, not going to lie. I just bought an Uni pizza oven.
oh, I heard about those.
Oh, baby.
How's
Here
that
we
working
go.
out so far?
I haven't used it yet. Going to use it Saturday night for the first time.
But you see the potential in it, of course.
Ever. I'm going to start my own pizza company. Clancy Pies.
Clancy's Kitchen, open in Braintree.
CP, Clancy Pies, right there. Do it right in the back of my truck.
CK, then CP. There
right.
you go.
CKCP
So,
pies.
little
There it
homemade
is.
pizza situation going on. Watch the Bees kick some butt against Colorado.
Man, you got it all going. You got the pizza maker going. You
Listen,
got
when
the
you have 3
suds.
kids-
You got what'd you get? The smoker too. You got
I
that
had the
going?
smoker, yeah. But when you got 3 kids, you can't get out of the house.
It's true.
So I got to do stuff at home.
Might as well make pizza and smoke stuff. You know?
Exactly.
No doubt.
Oh, hey now.
Well, smoker's top quality. What can I say? On a somber note, guys, I do want to make sure there's so much that happened in the last few weeks since we've been on, and trying to touch on everything as we get a chance to. But legendary player for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Borje Salming, unfortunately passed away. But How beautiful was it that they were able to hold that ceremony at Maple Leaf Gardens for him, have
awesome.
him have that experience, and he was gone less than a month later. I mean,
I think it was, what, 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks?
just about there, yeah. It was pretty quick.
That was an amazing ceremony they gave to him. Just the emotion on his face, his family, it was awesome to watch.
I think he did one more appearance after that, and then his family put out a statement and said he's not doing anything else after this. I don't think they meant it quite as literally as it happened, but I'm just happy that they was able to get that send-off and realize that people don't forget. And when you give your life to the game and you sacrifice the body and all the things that you got to do to be a legendary pioneer of the game, well, people remember. And I think we saw that on full display.
Absolutely.
It's just unbelievable. He was diagnosed with ALS in April, and it was so sad to see him, pass away that quickly. Usually it doesn't happen that quick, but the tribute up in Toronto was amazing. The emotion of everybody, the players on both teams, the fans, what an unbelievable moment for him. It must have felt like, just to be, he's winding down the end of his life, but to feel like, hey, I'm truly loved. And it's almost like
it wasn't for nothing.
He could die happy now. You know what I mean? It was just, it's sad to see because, up until a couple of years ago, he was still doing NHL,
still doing
Toronto alumni
games.
Yeah. And that's when he first noticed the symptoms. Was he got off the ice early. He wasn't feeling right, and he went and got tests done, and they were like, "You have ALS." And it's frightening.
What a way to find out!
It's
But
an
what
awful,
a shame.
awful disease.
Yep.
I had an uncle pass away of it a few years ago, and he suffered for a little bit over about 2 years, and it was just awful. It's an awful disease, and I hope at some point in the future they can find a cure for it.
Well, absolutely.
I think we've also figured out another thing to add to the list of donatable causes when we have our first Causeway King event, which is going to be something pretty crazy. At this point, we're literally looking like we're going to have a bunch of ex-NHL greats come in, and they're going to captain some of these teams. You already know Andy Sutton's going to come down.
Andy's he's locked and loaded, ready to go.
And I got a feeling we could get Darling in net.
I hope so.
Darling and
awesome.
Ned are doing stand-up, one of the two.
I want him playing stand-up.
I want
in,
Darling.
and I want him mic'd up for the
No,
game.
I want Darling doing play-by-play.
Can we get him to do it while he's playing net?
Oh, I'm sure
I
we
really
could.
think we could. Through the power of Abington Cam's technology, we could mic up that goaltender for that game.
Well, speaking
That's
of
a promise,
alumni
folks.
games, has anyone seen the defense that is set up for the next Bruins alumni game?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
That top line all of a sudden got
Holy
pretty big.
smokes.
You have Adam McQuaid, Kevin Miller, Zdeno Chara,
Ray Bork. Casually.
Yeah.
Pretty good, right?
I think that'll do all right. That line should be fine. Is Savvy playing, or is I don't know if they're bringing him back for that one?
I haven't heard.
Oh no, he's coaching again at this point, I think.
Ooh, Max
Savard,
yeah,
He was coaching, I think, in the Q.
Yeah,
maybe that's
or
right,
Q
yeah,
or the O. They were considering hiring him before they hired Montgomery. He was one of the names mentioned.
What a story that would have
He
been.
used
if
to
that
have
went
a
that
show
way.
on YouTube about taping his stick.
Really?
It was like taping with Savvy or something like that, like different ways like players tape their sticks and stuff.
I've seen a few pretty odd duck ways.
Yeah,
Well, David Pasternak has his own. If you have a
One little piece of tape. There
Yep.
you go, boys. All good.
absolutely whatever, he doesn't even
Why
need
bother?
tape. He doesn't even need tape. The way he shoots the puck, he could put a boat oar in his hands and he'd shoot the puck.
You'd be
Great.
surprised how many kids now just do what he does because that's pasta. They
Yep.
do exactly what pasta does.
Serve it up, medium sauce, extra meatball. There it is. Well, folks, thank you once again for joining us here for the Causeway Kings. We are still ready to roll here. We got lots going on, and of course, you can find us online just about anywhere that you can find podcasts, including Spotify, Apple iTunes, and there's probably 6,000 that I can't pronounce, but you can look up and find, so don't worry about it there. Also on YouTube and on the Abington Cam Network, of course. Boys, where do we want to head next? The goaltenders are looking great.
I want to
Defense
talk
is
about
good.
the Winter Classic.
Yes,
Yes.
they
Has
unveiled the
Anyone
jersey.
seen the jerseys that were revealed?
Yes. Oh, yes.
All right, so I think we got to get the pool going out on our social media. Which jersey is better, the Pooh Bear or the Winter Classic?
Oh,
Or the
boy.
Meth Bear. It's the Pooh Bear or the
Meth
Meth
Bear.
That
versus
that
the Meth
technically
Bear.
is the off-street nickname of it, yes. I mean, it was a different time in the 80s and the 90s, I'll just say that. But,
fantastic.
you know, the bear is, here to stay, and there's no way around it. The Pooh Bear jerseys are fire,
It's
though.
Smokey the Bear versus
They wear
Nick
the bear
Cage and
jersey
Vegas
almost
Bear.
every time at home now. It's like their new home jersey.
Yeah.
I love it, and they've been playing great in it ever since.
Wanted to bring this up, not to, I know we're like jumping around and
All over the
mashing
place.
topics, but we'll get into the Winter Classic jerseys, but just want your quick opinion, guys. Should the NHL, remember they used to have the white used to be the home jersey? Should they do that, or should they keep it the way it is?
No, you got to keep it the way it is. That drove me crazy when the home team was. I don't know. It was just a total preference
just
thing.
a jersey
Even
color.
when I was a kid, I think because the first time I saw a Bruins game and I really understood what I was seeing, they were wearing the dark jerseys at home. So to me, that was like the.
How
set.
old were you when you saw your
Yeah,
first
wait,
Bruins
wait,
game?
wait,
Like,
wait.
19?
This was way back. You know what? You might not even answer this question here, Clarence. All right.
So, but no, like it actually was annoying when they right before the year before the lockout they switched it up, and I actually found it annoying that it was the other way around. But the Pooh Bear jerseys at home would be.
They are. That's what they've been wearing pretty much. The one game that they didn't get to wear them was when they were playing
full-time.
Vancouver.
Because
Vancouver
didn't
wore
bring the
their
jerseys.
whites.
Yeah, there was
And
like
the Bees had to wear their home blacks, but Boo Bear jerseys to stay in my eyes.
that was like the moment where the two JV teams show up and they both have the same colored jerseys on. It's like,
knocking JV
what are we gonna do?
hockey.
Well, I mean,
Don't be knocking JV hockey.
I wouldn't do that, Merrill.
could happen in varsity too. Yeah,
sure
I've
it's not
seen
that
it.
fight strip?
I've seen it happen before. Teams show up, both have the same colored jersey on, and you're like, "What are we gonna do, guys?" Shirts
Now
and
what do we
skins?
do?
I don't know. They got to figure out a solution. Wear pennies? I don't know.
So as you can tell here, folks, Gordo is not here this evening.
Gordo.
Not sure exactly where he is at this particular moment, but his jersey is on full display here in the seat, and he's going to be represented well anyway. Gordo rocking the old 6'8". Can't really see it below there.
In
but
honor
trust me,
of Yager.
Yogs has got it here. Wherever Gordo is, he would have said the same thing. Beer league regular season. Can we talk a little league-wide for a few minutes here? Because that Seattle-LA game, which is something I never thought I would actually say in my lifetime, was wild.
It's unreal.
Wild.
Yeah.
Seattle's no
9-8.
joke this year.
9-8, the final score at OT. Ugh.
I mean, like Gordo has said on the previous podcast, it's like men's league, point night, and it's just I don't know what it is. Is it a combination of maybe the league is watered down? Is it just that it's become so offensive with the rules in place? You can't clutch, grab.
I think that's
They're calling everything tighter.
I think that's it right there.
Every time there's a hit, there's a fight, which is absolutely.
Yeah,
we
I
talked
hate
about.
that. I hate
talked
that.
about how much
Clean
we
hits
hate
are
that.
clean.
Talk about that.
Yeah, it's.
But I think you're seeing a lot more high-scoring games because the defense literally don't get to play defense. They might as well just open the door and say, all right, go ahead, because
If they do anything, they're in
forwards
trouble.
come in, they dump the puck, they can't hold them up, they can't grab, they can't do anything. It's ridiculous, And then if the guy goes in the corner to get the puck and the defense hits him, and it's a clean hit, then there's a fight.
Yeah, I will say that it does market correct a little bit when you get to the playoffs. It kind of you see the bigger physical teams usually have more success. Although Colorado just had it all going on, and we'll talk more about their matchups coming up. But I want to see the matchup of how the Bruins respond to the speed of the Colorado Avalanche. That's going to be interesting for me to see because the Bruins are a fast team. They're a skilled team. But Colorado is another level. And they're the defending champs. Building's going to be buzzing. It's going to be a playoff Stanley Cup atmosphere. Probably a lot similar. Again, I wasn't there, but you could tell the Carolina game, there was some serious juice to that game.
Yeah.
Be interested to see how they respond. And not for nothing, just want to say, remember, so Pasternak scores that amazing goal to beat Carolina. What was the goalie Kochekov yelling at? Did you see that?
I think he was upset about a missed interference call earlier in that
The
run.
one that they originally called no goal on Foligno, well, they called Foligno for goalie interference when literally
He got pushed.
he got pushed and barely touched the goalie. He never made a stink about it when that happened. Because your ref originally said no goal, and then they challenged it and they reversed it to a goal.
Yep.
And then I think, and when Pasta scores that goal, I think that kind of,
Melted down?
yeah.
Okay.
He definitely
those
had a
goalies.
moment because one of his teammates went to get him. If one of your boys has to go get you,
He
you've
went
gone too
straight
far.
Jordan Binnington.
He almost went straight to JB. No way about that.
He didn't punch
but
or hit though, so that was.
He also didn't throw a stick at anybody.
Has he been in a goalie fight yet?
Biddington?
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think he'd
so.
get speed bagged.
Oh, I know he would. It would be Emery versus Holtby all over again. But
What a great match that
I
was.
can't believe
R.I.P. Ray.
I can't believe no one has tuned him up yet because he's done some crazy stuff in net.
If he keeps doing what he's doing, I think his own teammates are going to tune him up.
Can we talk about Jack Campbell last night for the Oilers? Putting the shoulder down. He came out of the crease to play the puck as it was coming toward the center slot, and they were playing the Canucks. And the center was going for it, and Jack played the puck and took the body,
Perfect.
man. He put him down.
Good.
That was a heck of a hit right
Good.
there. I really enjoyed that
Well,
one.
I mean,
love when goalies get involved, and physically, now that's something special.
Well, clearly he probably saw the tapes of what happened with Ryan Miller, who absolutely got his brain scrambled by Milan Lucic. That was 10 years ago last month, but
Listen, if you're going to come out of the crease, you got to expect some contact.
yeah.
You got to be ready.
It's plain and simple. You know, if you can't handle it, stay in your
Like
little blue
Allmark
box.
did. Allmark came out of the net. Remember that was against Carolina too.
He came
way
out by like the blue line.
Yeah, he did like a Patrick Waugh kind of thing.
Unbelievable effort. I tell you, I love when goaltenders are in the zone, and everything's been firing in full octave right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I could ask for anything to possibly be better, boys. But
Win the cup. That's for.
Well, hold
That
on.
would-
Let's
that's the
get
hope.
back to my Winter Classic jerseys.
all right,
Yeah.
back to it. So
yeah, we're a little ADD
I
tonight.
need to know
A little
I
bit.
need to know your thoughts.
I like it. I like that it's the dark jersey base, first of all. I don't think that I like it more than the Pooh Bear jersey. I do think that I like the Pooh Bear jersey more, but not by much.
Yeah, but you also didn't see your first Bruins game until you're like 31.
Right,
You
sure.
open, you
Right, right.
opened up this can of worms, Ben. You did. You opened it up like, oh, you
See,
know.
I really like the
Jersey
jersey. I
talk.
love the whole getup. The only thing I don't like is the gloves.
yeah.
No,
that's
I didn't
what
take a
was-
good look at the
mustard yellow
gloves.
gloves. I don't like them. They don't look good.
See, I would have gone personally. I feel like we're like Joan Rivers talking about like style back in the day, but it's like I would
Look
have
at
gone.
us. What do you expect?
Yeah,
I
we're
would've gone-
matching unis tonight.
I would have gone black gloves with the gold like lettering, like
That would've been
whatever,
cool.
like you know what I mean, like that. Instead of the white like they have, like spruce it up a little bit. Yeah, the yellow is just you can't do too much yellow. It's gotta be
gotta
tasteful.
offset it.
It's gotta be sprinkled in here and there. It can't be full on like the
You
mustard
can't
gloves
be all
is too
one
much.
color. You cannot look like the Buffalo Sabres when they wear a white helmet, white shirt, white pants, white
Whoa.
gloves, white socks.
Yeah.
Too
Too
much.
much.
That's
terrible.
just- yeah.
Yeah.
But-
They should focus more on winning than actually looking like a spaceship.
Yeah, they should try like the Philadelphia Flyers.
If,
losing
dude,
10
if,
straight
if
focused
the
on winning.
Buffalo Sabres did not have Tage
the
Thompson,
Cooperalls.
they would not have won a game this year.
Oh,
Tage Thompson is an absolute beast.
yeah,
He scored probably 3 or 4 legit highlight reel goals this year.
won against the
Wow.
Bruins.
Yeah. I mean, he's 6'7", 6'6". He can skate. He can shoot. He played at UConn, which is a D1 hockey school, but not as well known as a BU or BC or Northeastern or anything like that. He really made a name for himself when he played for Team USA in the World Juniors
Yes.
that year. He
Yeah.
was an absolute beast.
He got on the radar. I mean,
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You play your heart out, and you get seen by the right person at the right place at the right time.
well, that's the proven ground too. Like World Juniors. Like you go back to even like McAvoy. He when they won gold, he was featured prominently on that team. Was him and Fox both on that team?
Yeah, they were D partners.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Good luck. Good luck
fun.
trying to score on that tandem.
That was the World Juniors that
That was
McAvoy absolutely destroyed Jacob Chikrin from
Chychrun.
Arizona, coming across the middle and just absolutely lit him up like a Christmas tree.
yeah.
It was
I remember
unreal.
That.
Happy holidays.
That was a great.
World
Well, it's
Juniors is
actually
one of the
near
best,
Christmas, too.
one of the best things to watch.
It is. It really
Like that
is.
10 days that tournament's on, I get absolute zero work done at home.
Right? No, absolutely. It's just way too much hockey going
Sorry,
on.
priorities.
Yeah, well,
I'm straight.
but it does come at a good time. It's usually in between Christmas and New Year's, or
It
right
starts
in that
right
week.
before Christmas. Usually starts around like the 21st or 22nd.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to see the best on best under 18 and under play in that tournament. And is it U18 or is it all the way up to 20? I think it's 20.
U20.
Yeah, I think it's U20. My bad. But yeah, I mean that was an unbelievable tournament. And again, you get to see. It's also like a draft showcase too. So you get to see like, all right, where is your player versus like everybody else, like Fabian Lysell, right? Remember, everybody was watching him, see how he was doing. I believe, did Mason Lohrei play in that or not? Okay, Mason Lohrei played in that as well. He's another guy to watch for the Bruins prospect pool. But yeah, just to see how everybody stacks up because it's the best of the best. So
I mean, Canada's going to have Shane Wright from Seattle, who they sent down to
Speaking of which,
the AHL, who since he's been in the AHL has
Thunderbirds, right?
lit it up. I think he's had like 3 or 4 goals in the first 5 games.
yeah.
I heard the Chicklets was talking about it. I think he was going down for 5 games, and then after that 5 games, he was going to be coming back up. It was something weird about his contract.
I'm sure
But
it's some.
he's going to go off and play. Canada's going to be loaded. USA is going to be loaded too, because there's a lot of kids in the development program that are 16, 17 years old that are going to play on that team. There's a local kid.
is Hughes going? The younger Hughes?
Luke? Oh, Luke will be there. Yeah.
No doubt.
He'll be there.
How could he not?
There's a kid, Will Smith, and Chigs mentioned him a while back, plays for the National Development Program. I think he's committed to BC. He's already projected first-round pick in, I think, the 2024 draft.
Wow.
Filthy.
Connor Bedard.
No, I think he's draft eligible this year, I think.
No, Will Smith is not. No.
Okay. He was in 05, but it was kind of, kind of weird.
Canada's going to have Connor Bedard. They don't think Canada needs anyone else.
No, probably not, but they don't usually. So that
Philly's going to
that'll
get
work
Connor
out.
Bedard. They keep losing the way they're losing the 10 straight.
It's probably because of the Cooperalls.
Oh, I mean,
Those were the ugliest things I've ever seen.
Awful.
why
Awful
on
hockey decision.
God's
Awful.
green earth?
Nobody wants Cooperalls. The
Ever.
Flyers don't want Cooperalls. Stop lying to yourselves, folks. I don't know what else to say about it.
People
They're
are saying
awful.
on
They're
Twitter
awful.
and stuff that they should have worn them during the game.
What?
No way. Are you kidding me? There would be mutiny on the ice.
Oh, it'd be
like, there's
horrible.
no way that the. It's
You
all right,
can't have a
It's hard enough
professional-
playing with it for Tortorella. Now you got to play for Tortorella and Cooperalls. Good luck. Be like
like a
it'd be a
worst-case
mutiny on the ice.
scenario.
It'd be like the players would be like, I'm not playing. Kevin Hayes would be like, see you later. I'm
Coach
going home.
Torts, how do you feel about the Cooperalls out there?
Yeah,
Oh boy.
You probably loved them. You probably wore them when he played.
yeah. He was in that era, but yeah, just
Unbelievable.
just
Switching gears 2
yeah.
seconds. Pats game tonight versus Buffalo. Who are you taking?
Oh,
Ooh.
Bills by 25. Patriots. Full
That does
disclosure says, all right, I am no longer a Patriots fan since I got rid of Brady.
Really? I couldn't tell.
Team Tom Brady
You
all the way.
You weren't discreet about that at all.
Oh
I mean,
boy.
well, it's working out so well.
I mean, it's-
with
yeah.
with an offensive coordinator who's not. Don't get me started on that. The offensive coordinator is not off. 3-0 Buffalo.
You leave Joe Dirt alone.
Buffalo.
No, that's the
we've
defensive
just been told a
coordinator.
note from the studio: 3-0 Buffalo right now.
It's going to be 33-0 pretty soon.
Unbelievable.
But,
unbelievably
So bad.
Well, that's the New England Patriots this year, folks, and that's why you're listening to a hockey program. And Merrill is no longer a fan of football, so that's a-okay.
No,
Yeah.
just the Patriots.
Then I bet you if the Pats come back and win in the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, Merrill will be all about the Patriots again.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Total bandwagon hopper guy.
Absolutely not. I got
don't believe
Buccaneers gear. I got next time.
That's
we come
true.
in
He
here,
does have Buccaneers.
I'll wear,
gear.
I'll wear
I've
my
seen it.
hat.
Probably
I'll wear
rocks
my
an
hood.
Antonio Brown jersey.
Please.
Whoa.
They got a warrant out for his arrest.
I do not.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
When do they not?
Stop it. Oh, who has more fun than we do? It's definitely an us thing here on Causeway
God.
Kings, here on the Abington Cam Network and the WMEX Sports Podcast Network. Boys, we're going off the rails, and I absolutely love it. These,
what we do.
I can't
ADD
get over
this
the matching
podcast.
unis, honestly. I just cannot get over them. They look great.
Oh, can we get a shot of the jerseys down low
There it is.
Guys,
and I want to
look
say a very special thank you, Clance, for arranging this, and thank you to our friends over at Verbero for making it happen. And nothing for nothing. This is just a beautiful jersey, beautiful design. I mean, it fits me like a glove. It fits all of us like a glove. I don't know how it gets much better than this.
I like it because it makes me look thin.
There it is. There it is.
Not a lie if you believe it.
No, yep, that's right.
We are going to donate one to the Abington Cam Network as well. Hopefully that'll go up in the rafters, and they'll have that for all time as a thank you from all of us here at the Causeway Kings for putting up with our shenanigans and letting us have as much fun as we do here in the studio. And I think that's a fitting payment, don't you?
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. More to come. We'll get some more swag. We'll get some hats made. Get some hoodies.
There we go. There we
No.
go. Have to have a contest of some sort. We'll
Get
figure
these,
that
get
out.
these great cameramen their own jerseys, their own
Absolutely.
hoodies, or whatever.
Putting
right.
up with Ben, they need all the
Oh, they have to.
donations.
Absolutely.
Well,
have
God
to.
bless Abington Camp for letting Ben in here.
No doubt. A special shout out to my good friend Kevin Tachi, who is our executive producer tonight, running the show back there and leading the troops. Huge thank you very
the
much,
myth,
brother.
The legend back there.
That's right. A huge hockey fan at that, too.
I love it.
Kevin is all over the community, by the way. Guys, if you've ever seen an Abington Cam production, there is a 3 billion% chance that he's got a hand on it in some way, somehow. And all the sports, all the community events, all the meetings, all the things that happen and need to be there for the people, Abington Cam is there to do that, and Kevin does a fantastic job of making that happen. So special thank you out to him for doing that. He's been doing it forever, so good on you, buddy. All right, back into hockey here. We've got a lot going on tonight. Lots of action. Of course, the Bees are off tonight as we get ready
They're
to...
off till Saturday.
They're off till Saturday.
Pizza night,
indeed.
baby.
Woo!
Yeah,
that's it.
Can we just...
PT night.
Would anyone ever expect the New Jersey Devils to be who they are right now?
Not unless you're a Seinfeld fan.
Not unless they had Scott Stevens and Patrick Elias and Niedermeyer back
I
playing.
mean, if they
maybe
keep on the
Brodeur
track
and
that
that,
they're at, I mean, most likely at the end of this year, Luke Hughes is going to leave Michigan and turn pro and play with his brother Jack.
Right.
Absolutely.
That right there, you just got a rookie. You know, you got a possible rookie of the year. Probably a Norris Trophy in his first 5 years in the league. I was not expecting the New Jersey Devils to be where they are right now.
Not at all. I don't think they were either. Much like the Bruins, they came out of left field while we were coming out of right field.
I gotta say,
Great job.
a few weeks ago, did you guys see the interview with Jack Hughes? The reporter was like, what else? What else do you think you guys can do to, to increase your scoring chances? And Jack Hughes looks at her and goes, "We're on a 9-game heater. I think we're doing all right."
Yeah, like what?
Like, why would you question how they what they need to do to improve their game when they're just won 9 games in a row,
Making
and
stuff
they haven't
up.
done that since like '95?
It's a reporter
Yeah.
just doing the best they can,
Just
But what an
grasping
answer.
for
What an
straws.
answer.
It's a legend right there.
It's amazing that they're doing as well as they are when they have Dougie Hamilton playing D for them. But
Right? That's the thing.
the weird Dougie Hamilton playing for him. But
He's good.
He's good.
He
but
is good. He's just a case. That's all.
He's a head case. But yeah, without Palat, and they're still putting up points the way they are.
Jesper Bratt, Nico Hischier.
And
No.
healthy Miles Wood, who I wanted the Bruins to
would've
go
loved
after.
to getting him.
He's yeah. So,
Would you rather Miles Wood or AJ Greer?
Ooh.
They're both similar.
I think Miles Wood has more upside. I like AJ Greer. Don't get me wrong. I think he fits nicely with the role that he plays in. But Miles Wood, I think, has a little higher upside as far as scoring goals. But I mean, it's hard to complain. But I mean, about anything the Bruins are doing on the ice, anyways, or coaching. And I wanted to get your questions. Getting back to the Bruins real quick. How do you feel about how Montgomery is managing the lines? Because I think he's doing an amazing job because he's mixing the lines constantly. He has like the primary lines he'll go with as far as, not first line, second line, third line, but, the lineup he has. And then he'll switch it up here and there. He moved up Hall, because he was going. I like that. He definitely has like a pulse for what's going on in the game. Don't you feel like that?
He does. I gotta say, though, I kind of disagree with the change-ups of the lines. I think he's kept it more consistent than Cassidy ever did. When Cassidy was here, the only line that was ever consistent was Pasta, Bergeron, and Marshy.
There was a name
It was
for
the only line that was ever the same every game.
We're not allowed to say it anymore.
Poor Charlie Coyle, I think, had different wingers every game to the point where he probably didn't know what their names were because they were just rolling 24/7.
Right. Whoever's going to be
Now,
over there, just be open.
It's he does make some changes, whether it's moving Hall from the third line to the second line, but I think having the same consistent players in the lineup every game is what's really helping this team win.
I think, the emergence of Jake DeBrusk, the return of David Krejci, and the play of Taylor Hall, the consistency, I think those three things have stabilized everything. I mean, Bergeron, you know what you're going to get. Bergeron, we've seen him play with freaking, everybody from, Marco Sturm to whoever, Zach Hamill, Michael Ryder, to now obviously he's playing with elite players.
Played with Glenn Murray at one point, too.
Glenn Murray. I mean, he's played with everybody.
It's a few minutes ago, let me tell you.
But, yeah, a hot minute ago. But, what you're going to get from Marchand, Bergeron, into a degree Krejci. But the other guys stepping in and kind of elevating into their roles have really helped balance out the entire team. And it's great. They've been healthy for the most part outside of Frederick here and Craig Smith there when everybody's coming back in the lineup from injury beforehand. But, you see like everybody is playing their role. You don't see people like having to extend. Like you're not seeing having guys, elevate. We've seen when Coyles had to go to the second line. He's not quite as effective. Mm-hmm. But now that he's in that third line role, best third line center easily in the game.
Oh God,
no doubt. No
can
doubt.
feast on those third pair matchups. Can possess the puck and just wear teams down.
He's one of the best penalty killers in the game too.
He's just.
There's no doubt about it.
Kid ain't bad.
No, he's well worth it too. And
also, hats off to Charlie Coyle, just inducted to the Weymouth High Athletic Hall of Fame.
Yes,
Yes,
he
absolutely.
was.
Although he only played 1 year of hockey at Weymouth High,
It was
That's
a memorable
true.
one.
He
But
chose to come back home to Weymouth.
took
just
him
remember
to
that.
the Super 8. Unfortunately, they didn't win the championship, but took him to Super 8. And Charlie is obviously, born and raised in Weymouth, just a remarkable young man. Does a lot in the community. Still has a lot of ties to the high school, and he's a perfect example of he did not forget where he came from.
Totally.
He
And
does
that's
not let his
so
fame
key.
get to his head. He's just a down-to-earth, great guy. So hats off to him for being a Hall of Fame.
There's one thing to take a few minutes to sign some autographs, and it's another thing to take the amount of time on his own personal dime to go out and meet the kids. I mean, how often do you see him over there at their ice rink? I mean, he's always there, and he's always signing something for someone somewhere.
And these
and
little
it's so
kids
cool.
look up to him as a hero. Like my 5-year-old, I tape his stick, and he wants number 13 on his tape because that's what Charlie Coyle does.
I mean, I've personally seen him, at the end of one of those events, and there was probably 50 to something kids all around him, and he stood there and he signed each and every item, whatever it was, until the last kid walked away. And I watched him just be like, okay, cool, that's it.
I know this is
he's
going
a
to sound
great kid.
simple to
It's amazing.
say, not that you would be surprised coming from me, but I mean, I think he's one of the guys that he just loves being a Boston Bruin. I think he relishes
He
it.
thrives on it.
It's also one of the first instances that I've seen of a hometown player actually really working out long term. We've seen a few come through, God rest their souls in some cases, but it just for some reason, one or another, didn't
a lot of
always
pressure.
work out.
A lot of pressure.
So much pressure.
People want tickets. People want this. People want that.
And every night.
constant
They can't
badgering.
focus on just playing the game. Unfortunately, he's overcome that, and he's in my eyes the best third line center in the league. And he's young. He's healthy. He's a great player, and he's the sky's the limit for him.
Yep. How old is he now?
20. I think he might just turn 30.
Wow. And getting a note, Pats have taken a lead, 7-3 on a 48-yard touchdown throw.
Merrill's back on board, baby.
Bust out
He's
the
loving
duck
it.
boats. We're back.
He's getting Pat the
Jeez.
Patriot tattooed on his back tonight.
I left the boat. I'm on a cruise ship now.
Getting a note, Merrill has left the chat.
He's fleed with Antonio Brown.
Wow. What a turn of events.
Flee to Alcatraz, apparently.
I didn't know you would run to Alcatraz. That's interesting.
I said flee.
Oh, no, I heard you.
All right.
You got
Anyway.
fleas? You got fleas?
Not with this jersey on.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Flea repellent. Oh, man. We got a few more minutes left in our segment here today, so I do want to make sure we take a chance to really go around the horn and kind of take some inner thoughts. We usually go with some final thoughts, but, this has been such a strange season, so much success in unexpected places, and utter failure in places that we actually expected beautiful things from this season. So the bad of the bad and the best of the best, let's break it down a little bit league-wide. What is the most surprising standing for any particular team that you had a relatively high expectation for besides the Bruins? I'll start it off and I'll tell you, I really thought the Canadians were going to be a little bit better than the basement dwellers that they are right now. And I really was hoping that because I really wanted to see a Bruins-Habs rivalry reignite. But it ain't going to happen this year. There's just no way around it.
You don't really see many rivalries right now in the league besides the Battle of Alberta with Edmonton and Calgary.
Which is great television to watch.
That's a bloodbath.
Oh,
It's
always.
awesome.
But, I mean, part of that is the schedule. The way the schedule, they set it up, it's more of a balanced schedule, so you're not getting, the home and homes, which I used to love back in the day.
I love those, yeah.
But it's just,
But with the travel and,
yeah.
It was it was brutal.
The travel going to Montreal, though, that should be, in theory, that should be pretty easy, but just the way the schedule is, they're not.
They don't
They
play
haven't
them
even played
anymore.
it. They haven't even played. What are we? 20-something games into the season. They haven't even played the.
23 games. Yeah.
Haven't played
Yeah.
the Canadians yet.
That's like, I remember a time where it was, to heck with winning the cup and everything else, the only mission is to beat the Canadians this year. And that hasn't been a thing in so long, and I feel that void in my heart. I don't know about you guys, but it's a noticeable difference.
Yeah, it's well, I feel like it's like anything else. You go through the history of teams, and the rivalries are going to change. Right now, you would say the Bruins. One of the Bruins, more of their rivalries is Carolina. Not that that's ever really been the case before, outside of when they lost to them in '09. But like you saw the Tampa was a rival for a while. Tampa beat us for a while, and it ebbs and flows. But I would like to see that rivalry like spark up again.
Yeah.
It's original.
I'm just looking
6.
real quick at their schedule.
Don't tell me. It's
They
going to
don't
be a
even-
while.
I mean, I'm looking quickly on my phone. It looks like they don't even play them until January 24th.
What?
That is
in
absurd.
Montreal.
That's absurd.
What about... What?
That's like the
What?
All-Star break, basically.
Yeah.
It's like
Again, I'm looking on my phone, but that's what
I'm going to
seeing.
hope that you missed one somewhere, because that's just an absurd amount of time to not have this rivalry. They've been playing longer than the Red Sox and the Yankees, for God's sakes. I mean, this is the storied rivalry in sports, and it's not happened. I think that's a
sometimes all good
total
things come to an
blame
end,
on the
Ben.
league,
blame
man.
it on
No
Gary
way.
Bettman.
Sometime
Speaking
all-
of Gary Bettman, I just want to say this. We haven't talked about this at all. Came out about a month ago, maybe, but there will be no World Cup of Hockey next year. Again,
What?
no
I didn't hear
international
that.
hockey.
Oh, where'd you
It's
see
been
that?
pushed off to another year. It was about a month ago. They came out and they said that they're pushing it off another year because I think because of everything going on with Russia and Ukraine, and Russia not going to be having a team, and the IHF has them suspended right now. They can't in any international competition participate, including the juniors, World Juniors. So it stinks because we haven't had any Olympic hockey. 2018, 2022, or I don't know what if you'd even call that, without the NHL players. You've got great players who have gone a long period of time without playing or have never played. Stamkos, Brad Marchand, that haven't played for their country. And you have all these great players coming through. Connor McDavid,
Austin Matthews.
Cale Makar,
That'd be
and they
amazing.
haven't
You imagine
played.
Cale Makar and Adam Fox as your D pair for the Team USA.
It would be a
All sudden.
must-see tournament. We talk about the World Juniors, which is a great event, World Cup of Hockey, or the Olympics, and the fact that we haven't had anything like that, I think it's really hurt the game. I think
I agree.
It's something that they have to figure out. They have to figure out soon, and obviously it got pushed to kick the can down the road. I can't forget if it's 2023 or maybe it was 2024.
I think it's 2024.
That
would make sense.
I think.
So it's possible that, Brad Marchand could go. I think he was on the 2016 World Cup of Hockey, correct? But he could go his entire career only playing one time for Team Canada.
Wow.
That's mind-boggling.
That's one of the things that players want to check off of that bucket list.
They were
win
ready
a
to
Stanley
go.
Cup, win the World Cup of Hockey, win
They were
Olympic
pissed
gold.
when they didn't go to the Olympics.
yeah.
They were ready to go. They didn't care about all the.
Gary Bettman wasn't going to make any money for them to do that. So nor was the NHLPA apparently.
It's a shame.
I'm sure Gary's hurting for money.
Which also, while we're bashing on Barry, whatever his name
Whatever
is,
you
at
call
this
that
point,
guy.
Barry.
I miss booing him at the Stanley Cup final ceremony. It's all I know, and I'm going to continue to do so out of tradition.
Well.
But he also came out and announced nowhere, no dice, no movement. The Coyotes will stay somehow, somewhere in Arizona. How, and a 30-year guarantee on top of
I
that.
just saw that it got approved. It was like unanimous, like 7-0 vote for them to get an arena in Glendale, I believe.
Really? I didn't
I'm pretty
hear
sure.
that.
I thought I saw it on Twitter.
But I thought that was a pretty bold statement to say, no, 30 more years in Arizona. But if they got an arena and there's actually hope now, that's a different story.
There was a vote like last week about it,
and it's 7-0.
and I want to say it was a 7-0 unanimous vote.
That's awesome if that's the case.
I'll have to
that
look
makes
on
a little
Twitter.
bit more sense then.
I'll look on
I'm
Twitter
just
later
amazed
on.
all the machines work there in Arizona.
Wow. Oh, with just a few more minutes left here on the Causeway Kings, folks. This has been a lot of fun.
Priceless.
We've had some real talk. We've had some hockey talk. We've had some this, some of that, a little bit of here, a little bit of there. Boys, what have we not brought up that you wanted to before this episode is over?
I think we've hit a lot of the base. Clance, you might have something. I don't want to step on.
The only thing I got left to say is Jack Edwards, you're dope.
Boom.
Plain and simple.
He's not wrong here, folks. Clance is not wrong.
I don't see him winning any modeling contests.
Or getting his teeth whitened.
His,
Wow,
there you go
Merrill.
right there. You know, I mean, I
wanna
don't know
pick on
who he
people
thinks
for
he is to
things.
say stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, but
Moral of the story still stands. We don't pick on people for things that are beyond their control and
know
or
what?
unreasonable
I
in a
was always
professional
raised.
setting.
I was raised a Irish Catholic kid from Dorchester. If you got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
It sounds cliche, but boy, is it true. I tell you. Well, in closing thoughts, then definitely, guys, you're on to something there, and I'm looking forward. We definitely got to put together the very first Causeway Kings public event. I think that'd be pretty cool, even if we just hosted an open skate or something to that effect. Definitely raise some money for not only the Jimmy Hayes Foundation, but now maybe we can make a donation to the ALS Foundation in the name of Causeway Kings as well. And there's a few other very worthy charities. I think Gordo was actually involved in one. There was another few that he had particularly lined up for some close people in his circle. Everybody's out there hurting, folks. There's no way around it. So the real moral of the story here is just be a good person. And wherever you can do good, do your best to. Don't forget to leave your sticks out for the boys and girls who don't make it home for whatever reason, in whatever situation, whatever and wherever. We always have to keep those people in mind, and especially around the holidays, boys, on a little bit of a mental health note, it's a tough time for people around the holidays. Not everybody has the big family to be around, and not everybody's got the people in their life that they want in their life, and they may not be able to have them for whatever reason, but it's just that much more important for us to make sure that that message gets spread out to be good people. You never know what people are going through, so
Treat people the way you want to be treated.
Well, everybody's going through something. That's one
yeah.
thing I've learned in life. You don't know, what somebody is going through. So, I think the world in general could use a little more compassion, a little more empathy, and a little less snap judgment.
emotional
Don't
response.
judge a book by its cover,
Exactly.
because you never know what someone's going through.
It's true. And especially in the day of technology now where everything's so instantaneous. Want it right now, now. Swipe whatever direction is going to get you to where you're going. Slow down. That's what the holidays are all about. So we want to end on a happy sentiment there. We're going to do that. The Boston Bruins are ripping it up. There's nothing for us to talk about at this point. Game on, drop the puck, let's go. Happy holidays. Christmas season is upon us. And
Elfie showed up today.
oh, the elf's on the
Elfie.
shelf. Oh, boy.
We wake up, Elfie's hanging out on the mantle.
Oh, boy.
Like, what is going on, Elfie? So
Got into your bourbon.
You bet.
better stay away from my drinks.
All right.
Sauce.
Folks, on that happy note, thank you so much for joining us here on the Causeway Kings, proudly partnered with the Abington Cam Network, as well as the WMEX Sports Radio Network. And boys, with Gordo in mind as well, let's do it all together. Have a great night, and let's
Go Bees.
Woo!